Balgan over for the team one, ready to go as a marksman. We got Jareen back, this time on an Arcane Mage. I think it was Frost last time, right? Rat going a Assassin Rogue. We got a Shamanzi as well as Jareen coming back. And I do like the mock, you know what? The helm almost fits super well with the rest of it. Like, I feel like if there's the feathers, match the feathers, it was more like darker purple. In the night, it does look really good though. Sub getting blasted out immediately by Balgan, not even the opener, as the guy's just going in lots of damage, cloaking shadows. I didn't even realize this guy was going to be under that much pressure. Volley is down. That's going to be another explosive. Sub not in a great spot, trying to see if he can get the poisons, the bleeds, and Balgan taking quite a number of damage to him. Actually, Sub made his ever. Oh, it's a quick shadow step. Quick, nothing personal, kid. Taking them out of the game. Taking one for the team. We got us a Morpho on that team as well as Grifka. We got us a Demoniac. Oh, Demon Punk. Never mind. That's not even the same guy. And then Katarina, a sub, trying to be very careful with Shamanzi. This guy getting him with a girl in the opener. This is why I think you want to wall really early on, actually. This could be pretty good for the rogue. Kidney shot, if you go for a reset, it's going to be a trinket immediately. Blind right after. Sub, just got to be very careful with the lava burst. This could be a lot of damage. But the fact that he doesn't have cloak, and now that he's got just rooted, that's going to be a little bit of a rough one. Even with the totem down, I don't know if he catches up a restealth. Stormkeeper, trinket, gouge. What a gouge. I like the rage. Oh, he actually, that's such a pro gouge. Able to lock down the shaman for a second, but the guy still is able to swing around the corner. Lasso, kidney. I think you just take that knockback and go behind the pillar, but no, the totem re-roots you. Oh no, I thought it was just going to be a one-time root, but apparently he can go again. It just re-rooted him again. That is so unfortunate. There goes even his cloak proccing too. You got to dodge, melting him little by little. Maybe he can somehow evade it. This way you got to get that fire elemental over on the rogue as soon as possible. Where's that thing? Is it gone? It is gone. Hold on. Sub actually got himself a reset. Hold on a second. No, maybe. I don't even know. Potentially. Give a second. I feel like this guy is so close to death. He's just on a death's door. But he's just playing with it. He's just juggling with it. No, Garrod got himself maybe a potential kidney shot. Death mark not available for a little bit. Got himself a stun. Knockback doesn't really send you flying. This is an opportunity for you to get a couple of good envenoms. Big ascendance. You want to be careful with it. Does go in for a reset with a cheap shot. And like the lasso, the shaman is really low, but so is the rogue. It could be actually maybe potentially rogues go. Hold on, cloak very soon. If you cloak right now, you might be okay. Does get the cloak, Shaman's maybe goes down. Oh. No way, this guy actually does bring it back. Well done. Let's go with Tarion, the slammer of these rogues, man. Trying to see if he can maybe pick up an eye. He's actually just kind of hanging out in the open, maybe just away from all the pillars. Next to the eye in case he ever needs it, but I guess we'll find out. His sub gonna be walking into this one a little behind. Does not have a cloak, no trinket, but at least has evasion at a big death mark. So maybe there's a chance he can make some work here. Cheap shot, Garrod, get himself a full setup, stuns into a full death mark, looking to maybe kite out the warrior with a disarm. That's going to be a charge for Tel. Wants to stay on sub like glue. Parry for evasion, at least got himself overpowered so he can maybe get some damage through into his stormbolt as he goes in for a stab, trying to go for that big envenom or ruptures rather. Shadow step behind it, behind the parry. Bladestorm as he goes in for a step, maybe looking for a kidney shot, will not be able to, and it just goes down as the warrior goes in for a clean sweep. Just ripping the rogue apart with Katarina gonna be up next. Arcane Mage after a sub rogue. And Tell, yo, do you just double shield it? Do you just use the necklace shield just to get yourself second win kicking in early? My goodness. Tell opening up with a reflect, gonna be a barrage slowing down. Katarina does go for a reflect actually to go, but you were able to get a barrage reflected back to you, and you got yourself an interrupt reflected back. I didn't realize you could reflect that many spells at once. That's weird. Stone into Cat. He knows he's going to go for a blink, that or all to time. Charge right after. As long as Tel's very careful with his mobility. Going to be the banner, trying to see if he can take it down. Knockback to the warrior. Got himself another charge. This way, if you can get the bleeds and go for Bladestorms, you'll be golden. Poly off with that breath. It's going to be leap for the warrior. Trying to see if he can stay on top of you. Another Poly right after. No Bladestorm for this one. And that's going to be full burst out of Cat. But a fear to follow. Fear stunned. But Cat has himself a blink for the next one. And that's going to be reflect up for Tel. But that's a lot of damage. Cat is just putting out the most amount of pressure into the warrior, having to go for parry as the shift in power is out for Cat. He's just in a golden spot. He's just perfectly fine. Ring of Frost around the corner, trying to see if he can get himself a decent setup. Ring of Fire on the other side entirely. Until it's kind of trapped up, he can't really do much. He has to run through the fire. But the Mage with the mobility, he will not be able to catch up. Burning through double charges. It's gonna be Batson's Cat always can reverse the blink back, and it's gonna be able to go for that interrupt. Poly, Cat is just absolutely putting out the numbers in these guys. Look at you. Poly Tell is gonna be able to get a lot of healing. But is he trying to get some damage in? For Tell, he has to be very careful with mobility. I think if you can go for a Blaze Storm and use that to leverage that like lack of slows, right? So if you can Blaze Storm a knock or Blaze Storm a breath, Blaze Storm's a knock. There it was. That's exactly what you wanted to see. Katarina with a shatter out of Tell. He was prepared. He was ready for paladins and mages. He saw 2 mages on the team too. He's like, all right, I may need to commit a town point. Polly does try to go for reflected. Is going to be able to interrupt for Katarina. Can't really stop this one. But for Tell, at least he's able to get a bit of pressure versus Cat. I don't know if there's going to be a breath or maybe another knock. That is the touch of the magic. Defensive stance out for Tell. At least able to maybe reduce some damage. Decides to go behind the pillar, but having to walk through the fire twice in a row. It's a lot of damage. More missiles and shifted power. My goodness, Katarina just absolutely blasted him. As Tell looking for a bit of a reset himself. That is just a rough spot to be in. Looking for recovery. I don't know if you'll be able to get it. Ring of Frost on the left hand side. Arcane Orb on the other. Not really going to get you any kind of second wind action whatsoever. Tell maybe big damage. Warbreaker, Blaze Storm, able to immune the bread. That is perfect. That needs an ult time. That's going to be the big blade on top of it as well. That's going to be a big prismatic though. But with dampening, it's going to make it harder and harder for you to really get that much value. Cat is in a good spot. Ult time is available by the looks of it. Mage missiles are up, able to reposition entirely. But for Tell, looks like he got himself plenty of recovery. And for Cat, more on the defensive rather than the offensive right now. So we'll see kind of where that goes from there. But got himself at least a little bit of recovery. That is a rough one, man. It's actually a bit more of an even duel. I thought Tell might be able to get in, set a bunch of bleeds, and the Mage melts. Maybe a couple of Blaze Stones, but Cat is not going down without a fight. Just staying in there, staying super hyper aggressive, and I love seeing it. Double charges available, stun to Cat, maybe an opportunity to get some damage in. Warbreaker is in, leaping in with the Blaze Storm right after. Katarina does not have an Ice Block for this one. Into an ult time, will be able to at least reverse some of this damage, and is going to be able to reposition as well. Blaze Storm to prevent a second poly. That's a lot of output. Cat does have a bit more ability. Does go for the interrupt in order to make sure the cooldown reduction isn't active for the Mage whatsoever. Is bleeding out. That is a lot of damage still taken. Still a lot of sustain. For Tell, this is huge. Touching the magic, may just have to ignore it and just keep bounding as much damage as it can into the wizard class as best as possible. Does have a charge for that knock and trying to get as many mortal strikes. Overpowers in. Reflect is up last second. Cat does go in for reflect to interrupt in order to maybe give himself a little bit of immunity, but Tell is able to get a blow and finally chopping away bit by bit, piece by piece, just enough to get him low enough to finally land that execute. With Demon Punk going to be up next. That was a long match between the two. It was a lot of resets, a lot of back and forth. I felt like you guys were both rogues just looking for resets the entire time. Normally, you don't really see warriors go for that many resets, but the fact that you can have a second win, it is nutty. Trinket for trinket right now as a stun comes out. Demon Punk with big damage, cleaving right through the soul of Tell as he got himself a shielding. Fear, just looking for a little bit of recovery. Reflect is up, but is just trying to get himself some second win healing if he can. As long as he doesn't have a dot, looks like maybe recovering. Looks like maybe getting some more healing. No, still taking a bit of damage. Summon is still bothering him as the stun comes out. Does not have a parry for this one. Battle stance at the ready. Meta available for the Demon Hunter. Does disarm him, but it's not really going to stop him whatsoever. Big hunt right after. Until I think might just be done for the count unless he got a heal. Does get himself a heal. Maybe can go for big Blaze Storm Avatar. Not in a great spot, and the Demon Hunter does end up overpowering the guy at the end of the day. That is a rough one. Unless he had parry or something, I don't think there's a way to win. That or just kind of surprising amount of damage out of left field, but I don't think that guy was going to be able to get any at that point. Ratko next with a Garrote onto Demon Punk as he goes in for a full disarm. This way, the Demon Punk guy just got to play the long game, I think. Wait for like a demon to spawn in or two. If you could find a way to immune any of the CC from Rogue, if you could time a Vengeful Retreat around a Kidney Shot, or a blind, he'll be golden. Does have a demon spawning in. If you can slay, get himself a little bit of health, that'll be going to be huge. Does have a vengeful retreat. If you can time it right, you might be okay. I don't know if you can maybe position it. Blind, huge. If you can immune a kidney shot some way somehow. Cannot. No, it's just an air tide from a blind into a kidney. Is that a death mark too? It is going to be a death mark unless Demon Punk can find a way to deal with it. It's a rough one. If you're into the Rogue, maybe you can just slay him right then and there. Rogue has advantage for this one. Maybe you can find him fast enough. It's going to be a quick cheap shot for Demon. I think it's just over. Yeah, Raka does end up taking him out with Grifka going to be second to last. Up next was Raka, just going to go for a couple of strikes. And for Jareem, it's really going to be down for him, I think, to find a way to fight through Grifka. Mage versus a Rogue. If you can just keep him out of stealth as best as possible, you might be okay. Is that another Tempest? Ring of Fire on one side, unless you can get a Ring of Frost on the other. It's going to be rough. Shadow Striking just to get close. Breath. Immediate trinket for Jareem, though. Is he playing Blink or is he just playing like Shimmer? Because he may be playing Shimmer. That's a full burst out of the Mage, full cluck out of the Rogue. If you can kind of keep him out of stealth for a little bit, maybe get some damage in, get some burst out, might be okay. Temporal, not really going to do much for you. It is super, super high dampening. Jiraima's under a ton of pressure all the time, maybe a little late too. Interrupted on Arcane, Ice Block, all the time. May want to cancel it. It's actually going to put you low in health. Hold on, want to cancel it, cancel it. Oh no! He lost a lot of that extra health he just gained from Ice Block. No! I don't even know. Grifka does play into Blink though. But it's just over, yeah? Yeah, there's just no way. It's just such a high dampening, you can't really give yourself a proper reset, and Grifka does take 2. Tell does bring 2 there. That Mage encounter was a rough one. I didn't realize it was going to be that tough of an encounter, but he did end up holding his own. Well done, well done. Let's get us another one going if you have time for that one, boys.